Yo says Leo Vang. Leo Vang, I just heard a story. You were the mysterious kid in the classroom, dressed in all black, like looking all cool.
That was when we first met. I think he was like the goofy kid in school.
Nice. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, your girl here just described you, and I said so. He was like the cool kid in school that was all looking mysterious in all the animes. Okay, that makes no sense. Why does it happen? Dress cool? Yeah, kinda, maybe. I think the cool kid is actually sitting in the chair. That tattoo looks dope. Well, thank you. I'm excited to do it. Your boyfriend just called you cool.
Are you gonna get any more tattoos soon?
If it arises that I feel like I need another one, there's some tattoos that I actually should get. I was telling you that I had a couple people pass this past year, and I think it's time that I get a couple of tattoos for some of them.
One of my friend's mom passed away and she wants to get a tattoo of her.
Yeah, I lost my father, my brother, and 6 of my kids.
I remember.
Fire is a damn thing. I hate that fire so much. I'm not really quite sure why my KBS is so high. I turned it down to 8,000. I'm not really quite sure why the hit rate's going so dang high.
What is that?
Just lingo in my stream. It keeps going to oranges and yellows. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit more. So Leo, if you're watching, how is the quality looking? I changed some things around in my stream settings. How's the quality, and what kind of device are you watching it on? Are you watching it on PC or a tablet or your phone? The quality actually looks really good coming from my phone. Awesome. Might have to come to you for a first tattoo after you're done. Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I want to get a tattoo.
What kind of tattoo do you want him to get?
Something cool.
Something cool. Big waifu back piece.
Oh my god, I feel like you would.
Big boobed anime girl all over your back. Sound and video are both fine. Awesome. Is he into anime or more into cars?
I would say equally. But he's really into both. Like, extremely into both.
There you go.
Like, I watch anime for fun. Like, whatever I see interesting, I watch it. But he watches, like, all of them.
Oh, I watch tons. I was just actually... You have an idea already? Awesome. I was actually watching World's Finest Assassin right before I came to your tattoo.
Which one is that one?
World's Finest Assassin is reincarnated as an aristocrat. So an assassin from our world is a badass, like Stone Cold Killer working for the Yakuza. Mm-hmm. And he dies because his Yakuza... Vroom Vroomoni-chan. Yeah, there you go. He dies because the Yakuza betrays him, and he's reborn into a world. But before he's born there, the goddess of that world says, "I'm going to reincarnate you into a world of magic and sorcery, and I'm going to let you have the choice of keeping your past with you." So you know how to kill, you know, to be an assassin, because I need you to do something. I want you to kill that world's hero. And he agrees to it, and he's born as a child to a family of assassins. It's really, really fun. It's dark, though. Like, there's definitely some darkness to that show. I just finished an episode where there's these kids, most of them are girls, living on the street. They're vagrants. They can barely afford the food that they eat and everything. But they do odd little things around the village in order to stay, you know, having money, having food, that kind of thing. And one day they're picked up by a guy who basically says that they're with the orphanage, but truly it's child trafficking. And makes prostitutes of all the girls, and yeah, it gets pretty grim at first when you're seeing, like, one girl has to wash the other girl before she goes on her date, and then she comes back home and she's literally, like, inconsolable, completely distraught, crying, and then she takes a knife to her face so that nobody will ever want to be with her again, because she feels gross on the inside, so she might as well feel gross on the outside too. Yeah, it's really good, but it's really dark. But a lot of fun. And the animation's great, the storyline's awesome, the theme song is literal perfection. He speaks for himself.
So what was your worst tattoo experience?
On me? Or doing a tattoo on somebody else? Which one?
Doing it on something.
Doing it on somebody else. The tattoo should have only taken me about 45 minutes. Unfortunately, the girl did not know how to sit properly and was complaining left and right, and it took me almost 3 hours. And it was one of those ones where I told you before, like, she kept moving and kept complaining and needing to take breaks and all that kind of fun stuff. And her mom was there because her mom was the one buying the tattoo for her. And she got sick of her mom's, like, trying to, like, help her get through it and just saying, hey, calm down, just breathe and relax and blah, blah, blah. Her mom was really trying to be nice about it. And she's like, shut the fuck up, Mom. And I'm like, I looked at her, I'm like, okay, we're done. And she's like, what? I'm like, no. You don't speak to your mom that way. If you want your tattoo finished right now, no more breaks, no more fidgeting, no more anything. You sit there, you take your tattoo like you would take your medicine, and then you pay me and you leave, or I'm done right now. You will not speak to your mom in that tone. And her mom kind of looked at me, and you could see, like, her mom's eyes kind of go, thank you. But, you know, like, I'm not going to take that shit. If you want to treat your mom like scum, then, you know, realize who's paying for your fucking tattoo, who signed. This is like, we know when parents were able to sign for underage tattoos. Her mom paid for it and, you know, signed for it. Like, she owes her mom a debt of gratitude, not, you know, bullshit.
What was it?
A little fairy. And it was supposed to be pretty simple. And the girl was just being complete, like, drama queen about it. It was so bad. You got a female Kyle? Sheesh. It's a female Kyle.
Oh, Kyle's like,
Karen?
basically.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we just call them Karens.
Do you know what a Chad is?
Like a bro?
Basically.
Yeah.
Like a basic bro.
Yeah. Basic white bitch, only male.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Theo wanted to tell him, but I told him not to tell him.
Why?
Because I do better, because tattoos hurt. Like, whatever it is, it hurts, but I deal with my pain really well. But I do it in a way that I do it in silence. And if, like, somebody tells me, like, oh, it's okay, or, oh, you got this, and it just ruins me.
Fuck you, I don't want your positivity right now. She don't like me enough.
Oh my gosh. He's cute. He's like a funny guy. So I know he'll try to make me feel better. So what was your personal worst experience getting a tattoo?
In between my fingers. The little finger crotches. Yeah, I wanted to die.
Do you have your elbow tattooed?
Yep.
How was that?
It's not terrible. It's not fun. I have my armpits tattooed. I have my feet. I have my head, obviously. My throat, my neck. Right next to my fingernails on the ends of my fingers.
You know if people get their fingernails done?
I can tattoo your fingernails if you want.
No, thank you. Oh.
No, it doesn't hurt. There's literally no pain to it.
Really? Wouldn't it just grow out, or are you doing the skin underneath the nail?
It's just a nail.
So wouldn't it grow out?
Yeah.
Oh.
But so do real fingernails.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. So it'd be like, you know, you getting polish on your nails and then just letting it grow out. Eventually you'd see the gap between the cuticle and the... Yeah. Before I consider, have you done smoke art before? Smoke art. You have to explain that one. Some people will name things on the internet. So it all depends on what that means on the internet. Like, somebody approached me about a certain kind of tattoo the other day, and I'm like, pointillism. And they're like, no, it's called dot work. I'm like, look up dot work or look up pointillism in the dictionary. It's called pointillism. Dot work is just the slang term for it. So what's smoke art?
Is there a professional term for thin line? Fine line?
What's that?
Is there like a professional term for fine
No,
line?
fine line is pretty much fine line.
Oh, what's the slang for fine line? I feel like
There really isn't.
Yeah.
It all depends on who it's coming from. So if it's from, if you're doing like fine line stuff, and your tattoo artist is Hispanic, usually it's called cholo. Because that's the majority of the work that cholo artists do is fine line black and gray. Because that artwork is usually learned in hood areas of LA or prisons. Like Mr. Cartoon learned how to tattoo in prison. He's the guy who did Eminem and 50 Cent and Dr. Dre and a bunch of those guys.
What's the worst like celebrity tattoo?
Who's got the worst celebrity tattoos? In my opinion, Justin Bieber and Lil Wayne have the worst celebrity tattoos. Oh, and Adam Levine. Everybody always thinks he's like, oh, his tattoos are so cool. They're terrible. I've seen them. They're terrible.
When I was a teen, like in freshman, I worked at Kmart, and Adam Levine, he had like a whole line of clothing, and I thought he was like a model. I was so confused. I thought it was like
just a
girl
singer. It's more like vapor than smoke, but they're sort of similar. Like a technical term, imagine a humidifier, or not vapor. So basically, realism mixed with black and gray. If you have any references of this, you can go ahead and throw me an email. The link is in my, I think there's a link in my bio. But yeah, the description sounds like realism, black and gray, just in smoke form.
You know what's been going around?
What's
on
that?
Like the internet? The tattoos where it's just like splatter.
Where what?
Splatter tattoos.
Again, I have to
Like-
see them.
You just like take a paintbrush, right? Or like anything, and you splatter dots and like
Don't
draw
talk with your
random
hands.
lines.
Yeah, just try not to talk with your hands. Keep going, though.
Like,
No, it's okay. Just keep going.
yeah, so it's just like they do it right there, and it just looks like you splattered paint on yourself.
Never seen it.
Honestly, it doesn't look that good. Looks cool though.
There's quite a few, like, fads that I've seen over the years where I'm like, won't be doing that one. Nope, sorry.
Well, which ones won't you do?
Ooh, let's see. Over the course of my career, there's been plenty of fads that I didn't do. I mean, I didn't change up my style or anything like that. Like, I just didn't want to, like, participate in doing some of them. Like, when people were getting tons and tons of words on them, like, literal, like, storybooks on them. Like, if you want a couple of words, cool, but why get 20 words when you can get a picture? A picture's worth 1,000 words. Why get 20 words? You play any video games?
Not really. I used to play a lot of League though. League of Legends.
Toxic.
I was so toxic. Imagine like a middle schooler being toxic. I took it very seriously.
Who was your main?
I'm gonna be honest, I only played them because I thought they were pretty.
I have a really good friend who's like in the top like 3 percentile when it comes to League, and the one that he plays is Riven, and he plays top lane, and he'll like 1v3, 1v4 and win every fucking time. He's so good with her. He can like count the frames in his head about how long she has for all of her recharges, and so by the time you think you're gonna swing your next like sword or shoot your next bullet, you're already dead.
Have you ever seen Box Fox?
Mm-mm.
He's, from what I know, he's like the best Riven player. And he does like crazy combos.
I'll ask my boy and see if he knows him. He also has a few. Does one play video games too?
Do I play
video games too? Yes, I do. I play Apex, and I used to play Overwatch, but I won't play Overwatch anymore. Play a lot of like single player stuff, Batman and that kind of jazz.
I just watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse yesterday. That's pretty good.
The animated movie?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Apex. Who's your main? I main Ashe. Secondary is Valk. Third is Loba, and then fourth is Fuse. But I mostly main Ashe. Those are just the ones that I'm most comfortable with. I play Loba if we need support on almost all the maps. But I play Valk for Stormpoint especially because her ult is very useful in Stormpoint. Being able to like zip around the map is really, really useful. But I move better with Ashe, so I really like her. Who do you play with? She's a good character. The character I mean is Gibraltar. Gibby's a lot of fun. Gibby's that shield. Man, I hate when a good Gibby player knows how to use his arm shield properly. Definitely makes him a force to be reckoned with. But for Apex, since it has such a fast pace to it, if I play the slow characters, I feel just sluggish. It feels like playing Reinhardt in Overwatch. Like I'm just treading water.
Do you ever stream your game?
What's that?
Do you ever stream your game?
No, I never stream my games. Streaming my games would feel like a job. Whereas for me, video game streaming is a wind down. It's a way for me that I can get on there, kick the shit out of some people, have some fun, and then at the end of the day, I could be toxic if I wanted to, because Gui has always been an interesting character in the fact that he just has shields for days. He does. I mean, the only issue I have is when Gibbies will hide in the frickin'... They're those people that pack like 9 heat shields, or like whatever they possibly can just to like shield up as quick as possible. And it's like, you sons of bitches. I'm just gonna run into your shield and kick your ass. He's a fun character, though. I have, like, all of his fucking skins, and I never play him. Is that a flower I spy? Yeah, there's quite a few in her tattoo. One at the top up here, one here, and then there's one down here that you can't see. Oh, you can see it in the second camera. And I think that's it for the flowers, yeah. They look really nice. Thank you. I just noticed the green screen and I thought you had a giant figure. Oh no, that'd be great if I did. Yeah, it's just a green screen. It'll change every now and then. Fucking love Goblin Slayer. That anime is fucked sideways. Second season's coming out real soon too. You ever seen that one? Yeah, it's I always give everybody a pre-warning if they're ever gonna watch it. The first 5 minutes of the very first episode are hard to watch. I can't give you too much more. Just if you can get through that first 5 minutes, the rest is easy.
We're waiting for Made in the Abyss season 2. Made in the Abyss season 2.
Oh yeah, that one's great. That one's dark and hard to watch too. Yeah, the first episode is the most intense. Yeah, it truly is. I mean, if you, like I said, I always try to tell people if you can get through that first one, you're good. That first episode. Yeah, Made in the Abyss is really, really great. It's really, really dark. I really want to do a tattoo of a couple of the characters, but yeah. It's not really, it's such a new anime, a lot of people are not attached to it yet. So getting a character from it is a really hard one for them. Which is crazy because, like, the amount of Jujutsu Kaisen tattoos I've done, and it's like, okay, this is the first season. And, like, I just did a tattoo of Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm like, man, she's really dark. She's super, super dark. Have I seen Corpse Party? No, I have not. Pretty interesting. Starts it off kind of nice and lovely, but then it gets really dark as the details come along. Oh yeah. I like animes like that. It's similar to how Future Diary starts off. You know, it just seems like it's gonna be a simple, happy little isekai, and goes real dark real quick.
You go to take a picture.
Yep.
Memories. Memories.
Do you want a picture like that, or do you want to I didn't know if you were trying to take a picture of me or whatever, but yeah. Like, I don't like getting my picture taken, but people do that kind of stuff all the time when they're getting tattooed. Like, I'm going to post for like 20 pictures. Oh, okay, who's taking the pictures? Well, me. I'm like, just make sure you don't move.
I always take pictures of everything because I don't. Sometimes I have a good memory.
But do you ever watch them again?
I do.
Really?
Yeah. I go through. I have like so many pictures on my camera roll.
Like, the people who get me or like weird me out the most is the ones who they go to like a rock concert or a rap concert or something like that, and they're only videotaping, and they're like, who's gonna watch that? Are you gonna watch that? Like, I guarantee you're not gonna watch that. The audio is gonna be dog shit because it's so fucking loud, and you think you're gonna rewatch that? Like, it's not gonna happen.
I just take pictures of random stuff so I can go back.
Sure.
But I never like take a lot because you have to live in the moment too.
This is true. Yeah, there was a band that I went and saw, and he's like, I don't want to see anybody's phone lighten up.
Yeah.
He's like, come to the show, enjoy the show. But you highly recommend it? All right, I'll give it a shot. Corpse Party. Funimation, Crunchyroll, what's it on? High Dive. I had to frickin' subscribe to High Dive because one of my friends told me to watch an anime, and I watched it, and I got sick to my stomach because it was so brutal.
Is it the one you told me about?
Redo of Healer, yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Fucking absolutely most disgusting bullshit I've ever seen. How it made it to an anime. It makes no sense. It's not really up for streaming due to it's a bit old. Okay, all right. Well, I'll see if I can find it on. One of my friends has a server of older animes. I'll see if I can find it on there. Otherwise, I'll scour the internets for it. Yeah, some of the not free sites, I get you, or the free, not really legal sites. How do you watch TikTok without the sound?
Oh yeah, I have the AirPods in.
Oh, okay. Like, how the hell do you pull that off? That's some weird shit right there. Like, I tried doing that once. I tried watching a couple TikTok videos. I'm like, if I don't have the sound, this is kind of dumb. Even if it's just crappy music that everybody's playing, like, I watch most of the time on TikTok. The only thing I'm really watching is like cosplayers and like fun little dancings, and you know, but for some other reason, all of a sudden I ended up on like political TikTok. I'm like, stop it!
Oh yeah.
I don't want that.
I can't watch it without the sound either because it's like you miss half of the thing, and so it's like I don't even know what I'm watching.
Mm-hmm.
But what is my TikTok full of? It's like full of like food hacks, and sometimes the anime people too.
For sure.
I have like a really good like for you page. It's like perfect for me.
Yeah. If people like seriously, that's about if it's the illegal stuff. There you go. If people were to look at my TikTok or my algorithm for, you know, like my For You and all that fun stuff, it'd be like, what are you, like, how do you function as a normal human being? Because none of it belongs together. It really doesn't. Like, there's like Disney stuff and comic book stuff and anime stuff, but then it jumps over to like, you know, cosplayers, and then it'll be like, oh, here's like a weird wrestling video, or, you know, a martial art video. Nothing of it.
That's like my Facebook, the most random videos. I spent like an hour watching like car crash videos because it was just so random.
Well, and that's another thing too. Like, I've never sat and watched a car video on there, but I have a ton of car videos that show up on my page. I'm like, bitch, I don't want this. I'm not even into cars anymore.
Just trying to introduce you.
I used to be really into cars, but I'm just not into it anymore. I had my fun. I had a really, really fast car, and then I'm just like, I think I'm over it. I'm done. Don't want to do it anymore.
Do you ever say not interested on it?
Yeah, not interested. A lot of times it's not interested in the user.
Oh.
But sometimes it's not interested in that thing. But here's my thing. I'm wondering how their algorithm works. Like, does it think that you're not interested in that song, the words that are presented, or is it the viewer or the user, or like, what if it's like a cosplayer, but it's a cosplayer who's terrible at cosplaying? I don't want to like change the algorithm where it thinks I don't want to watch, the cosplay and stuff, but yet it might. Yeah.
But I feel like it's watch time too. Like how long you stay on video and how often you watch it. If you like scroll past it quickly after like only seeing it for a few seconds, I think it takes it off faster.
Yeah.
But you can never really tell if you like something unless you watch the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, Leo, I've been there quite a few times, like, hey, maybe you should go outside. You've been on TikTok for a while. Fucking stop judging me. I'll do what I want. You do you, I'll do me. If I want to, like, do you want me on your app or not? Yes, then shut the fuck up. The more I'm on your app, the more I might see something advertised that I actually buy. Not bloody likely, but...
Have you ever?
No, I never buy from the apps because some of those apps are scary shit. It's like, you look them up and it's like, this site is a complete scam. You're like, oh shit.
I buy from a few like small businesses, and I like that fact. But sometimes businesses do this thing where they like post like, oh, I'm gonna package a fake order before I get another one, before I get a real one or something. Or like they do it to like guilt trip you. I don't like that one. I just immediately block it or like not interested.
Yep. Yeah, it's like when Netflix is the one who started that stuff. Like, are you still watching, motherfucker? Yeah. Shut up. Don't judge me. Yes, I'm still in my pajamas. Yes, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. Yes, I'm on episode 9. Fuck yourself. Episode 9 of the 4th season. Yes, I'm still here.
Is Rem your favorite girl?
What's that? Rem is one of my favorites. Ram is actually my favorite, but it's I like Ram because everybody else hates her. So there's something about her. She's dark as hell, but it's a cool one. I mean, I like that anime. It's a lot of fun.
I haven't seen it, but from what I know, there's a trap in there.
There's a what?
A trap.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the two girls died.
I'm not gonna tell you, but I'll tell you that the main character's name is Subaru.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The main boy, his name is Subaru.
Actually, or translated?
Actually.
Oh.
Yep, that's his name, and he's got a crazy superpower. That's one of my favorite superpowers, but I can't actually tell you what it is, or I will ruin the first 2 episodes. It'll ruin them completely.
What's the plot?
So the plot is an isekai plot. You know what an isekai is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he gets transported to a world. He was in our world having a good time, goes to buy a new video game. On the way home from buying the video game, he dies. He gets hit by a truck. And he's transported to a world where it feels like he's in a video games. And but he can't figure out what his superpower is. He's like, am I super strong? Nope. Am I really agile? Nope. Do I have magic ability? Nope. And then he was realizing he has none of those powers at all. Like, he's like, what the fuck am I doing in this world? And then he figures out his superpower later in the very first episode. Or he gets his first glimpse into it. It's awesome.
And then is the rest of him discovering his power, or is it like him using
solving the mystery of what he's doing there? Oh. It's really cool.
Does he solve it?
Not going to tell you. Oh. Takes away the fun. Huh?
Is there 2 seasons?
Is it 2 seasons? Yeah. Are you 2 or 3 now? Are you into any old video games? Yes, plenty of them. Depends on the what you would consider old, because you guys are a lot younger than me.
You know, we're both turning 21 soon.
See, I've been playing video games before you were born. So, like I said, old video games depends on what you consider old. You guys, your first system was probably like PS2 or PS3. My first system was Atari. You probably don't even know what an Atari is.
He probably does. He likes
He might.
old ones.
Yeah.
I think my first one was the Xbox, but then my dad, since me and my sisters are the only, we're his only daughters. He got us an Xbox, but then he was all like, "Oh, you guys aren't probably gonna use it," so he sold it while we were using it.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. I don't think he sold it. I think he just gave it to our boy cousins.
Oh, there you go.
Did you know? I've been like having a lot of Japanese convenience store TikToks.
Convenience store TikToks?
Yeah.
Like Japanese ones?
Yeah.
Oh, bentos are great. Or, I mean, konbinis are great. Have you ever seen the anime? It's called Bento. It's basically about high school kids that fight literally like Street Fighter style to get the half price bentos that night at the konbinis. It's hilarious.
I wanna watch that.
It's on Funimation.
Leo, write that down.
Yeah, it's just called Bento. BEN-TO.
Are you doing Food Wars?
Food Wars is great. I think we finished season 5 not too long ago. I played the N64 for my first console. Yeah, I loved the N64. That was a great game system. Especially once you get once you were able to get the little thing that turned it the graphics high definition. And playing Turok, that was great. Later on, I've had a Game Boy Color and such Game Boys. Other such Game Boys, such as the Advance, the SP, and I had the first Game Boy, which is that gray one with the green screen that you had to light it up because it didn't come with a backlight. That was a fun system. And when I kind of retired it for the colored ones and the Atari Lynx and stuff, my mom took my Game Boy, and to this day, my mom is probably one of the scariest people I've ever seen play Tetris. She starts on like high levels, like, you know, most people play from like level 1 and go up. No, she starts at like level 20 and then keeps it going.
You know, lately people have been getting like a microchip in their nails.
In their nails? Why?
On their acrylic, and then you can like link it with like your social media. And
Oh, sure. Yeah, I have that on my the back of my phone, and that black sticker over there by my little Google device. You just tap your phone on it, and it does that.
Pretty cool when you can just have it in your nail.
Yeah, it's called an NFC, and they work out really great. Mine, if you tap my phone or I have a permanent business card that's like made of metal, or that little sticker over there, it links you with all my stuff, like my YouTube, my Twitch, the whole works. Yeah, the worm light. Yeah, before the worm light though, it was called the Game Boy Light, and it literally like was this big thing that kind of like strapped over the top of it. So awful.
I saw this lady, she has a microchip in her hand, and that unlocks her house.
See, that's getting a little bit much. So if I really want to break in her house, all I gotta do is cut off her hand.
Exactly.
All right.
I kind of really like the thought of having a really high-tech house though. Maybe not that, actually.
I am not a big fan of having a super high-tech house, because with the more high-tech your house gets, the more access someone else has to it. Like, you know, people say, oh, like, you know, you're one of those people that thinks the government's listening to you. I'm like, okay, in a room that you've never set a certain object or device or something like that, just leave your phone in the room and talk about, like, if you've never talked about Disney, talk about Disney for an entire conversation. and then go to your social medias. Guaranteed there's a Disney advertisement in there that exact same moment. Because your phone was listening to you, compiling a new algorithm, and now reacting to what you said. And we did it. We actually, my wife and I, we were sitting. Neither of us had looked up anything. We were talking about planning a trip to Disney in Japan. And neither of us had ever looked up a single thing. We both opened up our phones, and she came across Tokyo Disney before I did in my advertisements, but mine was only like 3 or 4 pages down.
That's pretty convenient, though.
Convenient / scary that they're listening to you, because what else is being listened to?
I feel like everything at this point.
Right, but that's not, like, they completely talk about privacy, yet that's not private.
I'm pretty chill about it. I'm like, what do I have to hide?
Well, you don't have anything to hide until you have something to hide.
Exactly.
You know.
But if I have anything to hide that bad, that's probably really bad.
Well, not even that bad, but not saying it's all about crime and everything like that. But what happens when you say your social security number out loud?
Wouldn't the government? Oh yeah. If it's not the government listening and it's just random people, that's different, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing, is it's never the government that's listening. It's an algorithm that works for Google or, Facebook or whatever. It's never the government. It's literally a social media thing that's trying to sell something to you.
They already admitted it, that they're listening.
Oh, yeah. And people still buy their products.
Are you anti-Apple?
I am very anti-Apple. Well, I mean, they have an inferior product in comparison to the Samsung phones, and the same if you were to open up your iPhone right now, 9 out of 10 parts are made by Samsung.
Oh, I can see that.
You guys are just getting stuff on iPhones that we've had in our Samsung phones for 4 years or more. Like, just recently I saw one that was like, there's a new iPhone thing where you can take a picture of words and then copy and scan it into a Word format. I've had that for 7 years on my Samsung. She'd disown me if I get an Android. I mean, you can own what you want to own. You can use what you want to use, but when it comes down to it, if you want the inferior product, you keep buying that Apple.
It's because if you get the Samsung, you can't FaceTime.
No, yes you can.
No, I don't think you can do that through Apple and Samsung.
Samsung actually had video chat before Apple did.
But can you cross it?
What do you mean?
Like cross platform?
I think so. If I tried to video chat you, it would probably video chat.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard I didn't.
I can try it. I've never tried. I don't like being on camera to talk. For
probably like
not a stream, I mean.
A Gen X thing, but me and my friends, we just like have it there and we just hang out the whole day, but not being there.
That's weird.
When you're not busy, but you don't, you have to clean your room, right?
Yeah.
But you're like you want to be social and you want to be a little motivated.
Sure.
You could just like FaceTime your friends.
Sure.
See, I do like I don't know what Samsung is, but it's the one that flips.
Oh, sure.
I like that one. That was pretty cool. Where like it's a whole screen, but it flips.
Mm-hmm. It's called the Fold.
Samsung is just more cheaper, isn't it?
No, they're usually about the same price.
Mm-hmm. Apple support isn't much help though.
Apple support's terrible.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if I go online, I can get Samsung support to help me over the phone. Whereas you guys have to take you got to take your stuff to geniuses at their stores and wait in a queue for like 20-30 minutes.
I'll be honest, you have to like force them to help you.
Yeah. Even if you have Apple Care, you're still paying for that like replacement screen or whatever, and it's like, then what the hell am I buying Apple Care for?
I think the only reason I like Apple is the aesthetic.
What's that?
The aesthetic.
Well, the thing about it is like your phone and my phone probably have the exact same aesthetic.
No, like the one.
It looks almost identical.
Really?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. 1 second. Okay. So, what do you like about yours that I don't have on mine?
The box.
The what?
It's the shape of it.
Okay. Well, my screen goes all the way to the edge. Yours doesn't.
But I like it like this. Like
My screen has a
cowboy.
curve to it that I actually, if it's face down, you can see the light.
I don't think I like that.
My camera, usually on a Samsung generation versus a newer Apple generation, say we released them both on April 1st of this year, my camera would be better than your camera because Samsung has a contract with Apple that if they want the camera that's to put it in their iPhones, they have to wait at least one generation.
Oh, so does Apple just steal?
No, Apple buys it from Samsung.
Oh, okay.
It's really really funny. I have.
You have a movie.
Oh, I have animated backgrounds. Do you have that?
We do, but you have to tap it.
Mine's on both screens and all that fun stuff.
That's cool. Maybe I will. Maybe your dream will come true.
You guys have glass on the back and the front, just like we do. You have a metal edge which increases your weight. We don't have that metal edge. The metal's interior to the black or to the glass. So it's there is a chance of shattering, but there's a chance of shattering on yours as well because metal meets glass, and then it's all busted.
Do you remember how Apple they had that one release and then it crashed?
Oh yeah.
Like it bent in half.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, then Samsung had one release that was out of 1,000, 2 of them overheated and lit on fire. Yeah, so less than a single % of them, but they had to recall the entire line. They fixed the problem and they put it back out.
I don't think Apple. I guess Apple did.
What's that?
I guess Apple recalled it, but I don't think they did. Like, if you had a problem, you just go in and return it.
Yeah, you only had to. They didn't do a recall. They basically said, "Don't put your phone in your back pocket."
Yeah, or just don't get it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, people can have whatever they want. They can use whatever they want. It's like it's the argument of PlayStation versus Xbox, Canon versus Nikon. It's the same argument. We're going to have it 1,000 times more. PC versus console. It doesn't really matter as long as you're using what you want to use.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the Bell trailer?
The which one?
Bell. For Bell.
For Bell?
Uh-huh.
Never heard of it.
It's by Studio Ghibli.
By what?
Studio Ghibli.
Oh, no, I haven't then.
Yeah, it's in theater. It's coming out it's in AMC theaters right now, but I'm waiting for it to come out on Market. It's really cool.
Yeah, never seen it. I don't go on much TV, so if it's an advertisement that's been on television, then I definitely haven't seen it.
I just saw it when I went to go see Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Oh, did you want to?
No.
I
don't like Jamie Foxx.
Overall, it was good, I guess.
I'm sure. Yeah, my wife wants to see it, and I told her if she really wants to, I'll go see it with her, but I won't go see it by myself. That's for sure. I'm just not a fan, so.
I really don't like how they killed off Iron Man, though.
How they what?
How they killed off Iron Man.
In the Endgame?
Yeah, I know it's probably canon or something, but...
It's actually not. Do you know that Captain America was supposed to die in Civil War?
Yeah, they didn't.
They didn't kill him in Civil War. So, yeah. No, Iron Man is alive and well in the Marvel Comics. They didn't have to kill him off. Actually, by killing him off, they fucked up pretty bad because there's a character that Iron Man brings to the light named Ironheart, and without Iron Man, I'll be really surprised if they ever bring in Ironheart. Ironheart is a girl who takes over because Tony wants to retire, and she's awesome. And
instead of letting him retire, they just killed him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ever bring him back?
No, because if they bring him back, they would have to rehire Robert Downey Jr. and he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Maybe that's why they killed him off, though. Because that's what happens to movies.
No, he actually wanted to continue then. Like he's like, I'll do Iron Man until they want to kill me off. But it was, it was a decision that had to be made, and which is really funny that they killed him off instead of Captain America, because Captain America, Chris Evans didn't want to do the movies anymore.
What is this? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what's going
that's the way it is. Say tattoos looking solid. Thank you very much.
The Leo thing?
Yep.
How are you feeling?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Tired, but I'm good.
Did you get much sleep?
No, I had bad dreams. It happens. I just deal with it. Kind of the only one. You are the only one in chat, and which it doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're watching football, like, why? It's Minnesota football. Ugh.
Oh, is there football going on?
I mean, it's Sunday. I would think there'd be football on, right? Or are we post game or post season yet, or what? I don't know. I don't watch football. Couldn't tell you. I don't know why. I seriously wish I knew why we didn't have very many people in chat, though.
I think it's because people usually watch on first.
I don't know, but I mean, I switch back and forth. I've been talking about switching back and forth for weeks now. So, I thought people would listen.
I always I don't know your stream schedule that much, so whenever I just see push notification, then I just get on. I don't watch any YouTube streamers. I feel like this is going by pretty fast.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well. Whether we either making the finals or not winning, or making yeah, I don't know. We never win. There's just no point in even saying that Minnesota's ever gonna fucking see the Super Bowl, which is really funny because I've had people bet me on that one and lose, and that's always funny to me when you bet like pro Viking. It's like, you're crazy. We may be running into technical difficulties. Sound at the moment. At some points, sound cuts off when you talk or when you give the tattoo. The music stays. Yeah, it looks like it's a little red over there. I don't know. I unfortunately can't fix it on the fly either. I have somebody who's a kind of a tech help looking into what I should be running at, because YouTube is very new to me. So I enlisted some help, and he's looking at my stuff today. I had to send him like a spreadsheet of what my settings are, and he's gonna look into it and get back to me. So hopefully the next YouTube stream runs better than this one, because for some reason this one is pretty, it looks like it's bogging down pretty bad over there, so. What's my favorite food? I know it sounds simple, but Japanese karage from the convenience stores. Definitely one of my absolute favorites.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like a lot of places. I'm a fat kid, so I just eat everything that I like. I know I'm gonna pick something simple, and it's just gonna be like, oh, really? That's it? So, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, it's not even the favorite restaurant, it's just the food that the restaurant produces, is Hickory Hut over in St. Paul. It's right off of Rice and University, and Rice and Sterling. Yeah, Rice and University. And University of Dale. And it's some of the best chicken you're ever going to have in your whole life, and I fucking love it. But as for, is it a good restaurant? No, it's a little shithole, but they make good food. Part of the reason I like it is my father always would take us there, and my mom hates it, so me and my brother would eat it all the time.
You go to St. Paul?
Every once in a while. What's it called? Hickory Hut. Yeah, there you go. Leo knows. The Hickory Hut is amazing, he says. Yeah, it is. So, basically, back in the 50s and 60s, there was this Vietnamese man named Art Song. And Art Song came up with a dry rub mix that he would apply to fried chicken. And that is the recipe that Hickory Hut uses because Art Song passed away and they bought the recipe. Ichido's pretty good.
Yeah, and we like the one in Roseville.
Okay. When I go for ramen, we usually go to Ramen Kazuma in Minneapolis, or where's the other place that we went to that has really, really dope ramen? Sarah knows that I can't remember what the name of it is, though. Mom would always bring home the rib tip. Oh, the rib tips are good, but the chicken is just insanity good. Like, the chicken and the sweet and sour sauce. Oh.
I like Tasty Pot in Minneapolis.
I don't think I've ever been there before.
It's really good. You should try it. It's like individual hot pot, but it's all pre-cooked. It has like the hot pot ingredients.
I have never done hot pot. Not once in my life.
Hot pot is really good.
I'm sure it is. I've never tried it before.
Would you?
Probably.
I always get too full though.
That's the Korean thing, right?
I think it's more just a Chinese thing.
Oh, okay.
But every single Asian has their own version.
Sure.
Japanese, they call it shabu shabu.
Okay.
In Vietnamese, we call it lao. And I asked my dad what that meant, like what's direct translation. It just doesn't have it.
Sure.
I'm so confused.
This guy knows what he's saying. Geez, those sauces with the chicken. Oh, yeah. It's so good. Like, now, I think I might be telling my wife, like, that's what we're having for dinner tonight. She wants to make Japanese curry, but I'm thinking it might need to be some chicken if they're open.
You should tell her before she starts grocery shopping.
Oh, she's not there grocery shopping, so she's at work.
Oh, what does she do?
She works at Target. To my girlfriend, let's go get some Hickory Hut tonight. There you go. See? You're having Hickory Hut tonight.
I'm down for chicken.
Oh, it's so good. It's full of chicken wings, like the drum and the wing all attached. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I only like eating the wings.
Oh, no, it's not separate.
But
It's the drummy attached to the full part of the wing. Yeah, like, it's awesome. If you like chicken wings, another good place is Banchan.
Really? I don't like banchan.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's Japanese Korean fusion. Like, that shit's amazing.
I don't know. I feel like I don't like the seasoning to it.
Get out of my room. We're done.
I know. So I've been to parties and they had it and I like it there. But when I went there, I didn't like it.
Don't turn your face too much. You don't want to catch your chin on the ink and blood that's here. There's not much blood, but you don't want to catch your mask in it.
Ooh, are you going to do Sanaderm or just plastic wrap today?
I'll probably Sanaderm part and plastic wrap the rest. Do you have an affliction to Sanaderm?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
I just like Sanaderm.
Yeah.
How long do you recommend to
4 days.
4 days?
Yep.
Nice. Because I like to have it on, especially if I'm feeling and I'm doing it at the same time.
Oh, for sure. Babe says sorry before he does that. Before he finishes the tattoo. he told you to say sorry to me before I say it. Nope, I'm not done. I'm not finishing the tattoo now.
I think there's a Banchan in MLA, right?
Yep, that one is not awesome. It's a Banchan Express, so they only have like a quarter of their menu. They don't have half of the ingredients half the dishes that I like. They don't have the katsu. They don't have the bulgogi tacos or the. There was something else that they didn't have on their menu that I was really disappointed that they didn't have it.
I like that one. Like, because I only had the chicken from that one.
Yeah, that's all it has is the chicken. Yeah.
But then when I went to the one in Minneapolis, they had the bebop, but it isn't plain rice. It's like rice with like seeds in it, and it looks like quinoa or something. But I don't know. I just didn't like that.
Yeah, I like Japanese. Out of all like the different Asian foods, I'd have to say that Japanese is my favorite. I grew up, excuse me, I grew up eating like Americanized like chow mein and stuff like that. So when I first had my first, real taste of Asian food, I'm like, holy crap, I love this stuff.
Yeah. Okay, what's your culture?
I am German, Swedish, and Norwegian mostly.
Okay.
So I don't really have too much because that didn't get really passed down to me. Why? What's up?
Would you say you're like a full-on American?
Yes.
Okay, what is the food of America?
The food of America? Pizza is not how they make pizza in Italy. So Americanized pizza and Americanized tacos, but I would say overall hamburgers.
Hamburgers?
Yeah.
Did you say hamburgers? Wait, nothing really originates from America, does it?
What's that? Nothing originates? Well, technically everything originates from America.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, everything American originates from America, like, because we have people who are born and raised here, and then people who migrated here, people who ran away from their own country. There's so many different ways of why people come here, and then they take a little bit and then they add it to it. Like, that's how we have so many fusion restaurants, is like, we have Japanese restaurants mixed with Chinese restaurants. That will never ever happen in Japan or China because both those countries hate each other. Like, legit, when I worked years and years ago at Circuit City, we had a guy come in to get a television, a Sony television, and he was Japanese, and made us open box after box after box to get one that was made in Japan, not made in China, or he wasn't going to buy it. Like, that's how racist he was towards Chinese. I'm like, you're freaking kidding me right now. But yeah.
My dad used to do that. He didn't like things that were made in China.
Oh yeah.
But he's like better at it now.
Yeah. If you make it to level 10, I could evolve into a metapod. Yo, you're at level 5 for sure.
Yeah, I always wondered. Because I saw this couple, right? They do vlogs and stuff like that, and then people will roast the girl and say like, "Why don't you ever cook his culture's food?" And I had the like just the thought, what is white culture food
Well, I mean,
other than fast food?
it all depends. Okay, so white isn't just white though.
Mm-hmm.
So you're thinking white is American, and white is this melting pot of everything. Like white isn't white isn't a culture. Like, so say I'm German, Swedish, and Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my culture. My color is white, but it would be like if I looked at you and said, "So you're gonna cook me some Chinese food?" Like, just because you look Asian, I can't say you can cook me any Asian flavors. So, like American food, if I was raised without any kind of upbringing of telling me what my culture was, like being Swedish or Norwegian or German, I wouldn't know any of those dishes at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would only know what the American stuff would be, which would be, like I said, your hamburgers, your hot dogs, your Americanized pizza, your Americanized tacos. Like Mexican tacos and American tacos are leaps and bounds different.
Mm.
Like most Mexican tacos have no cheese, they have no lettuce, they have no tomatoes, and yet for some odd reason you go to Taco Bell and people are like, "That's what's Mexican food." Like, no, it's fucking not. Like that's like saying Leanne Chin is Chinese food. It is not. Yo, sorry, hon. He said when he said that, I fell to my knees laughing. Which part? The Chinese part, or what? I know, it's not very fun.
What part of the? Are you on the collarbone? Right
We're
now?
near the collarbone, yes.
At least I'm not like super super skinny because I heard that hurts more.
No, it doesn't really matter.
Really?
So whether you're muscular, fat, bony, anything, it does not matter. Skinny, fat, whatever, any of those kinds of things. So nerves are what feel pain. So if your pain is stuck in your nerves, which is your first line of defense underneath the surface of the skin, so it goes skin, nerves, fat, muscle, bone. So if your nerves are the first, the Chinese part killed you, yeah. If your nerves are what's getting hit by the needle first, it wouldn't matter how fat you are, it wouldn't matter how muscular you are, skinny you are, anything like that. You're getting hit with your first line of defense, which is those nerves, because your nerves protect your muscle. Your nerves are what make your hand back away when you reach to a hot stove and you're like, "Whoa, that's hot, don't touch." Your nerves are what keep you safe. Now, if you go beyond the nerves and your muscles are trying to compensate for your nerves, when you're trying to like mull through it, like some people like hold their breath when they're doing something painful. You're actually making the tattoo or the area or that pain more powerful, because what's actually happening is, imagine your oxygen is the gasoline of your car. Now you hold your oxygen, which basically stalls the car, but you're on a highway moving through the bloodstream. You're causing a traffic jam, which makes your body go, "Holy crap, there's a traffic jam. We got to do everything we can in order to make sure that the traffic jam gets cleared right away."
Feels like you feel more of it.
You feel way more of it because now everything's panicked around the traffic jam. We have to get this taken care of immediately. And if you don't, well, then, the traffic jam gets worse and worse. And if the traffic jam gets bad enough because you're holding your breath too long, you pass out. And that's why we get pass outs and tattoos. Is because people hold their breath and zonk. Yeah, like you were talking about the food part. The German food, I hate German food. I've tried plenty of times to eat German food. It is not my thing. Swedish food is really not really a fun thing to eat either. It's very bland, oversaturated in mayonnaise and weird things together. Like, have you ever had like a 7-layer, like a 7-layer salsa where it's like burritos or like beans and sour cream and like tomatoes and all that kind of fun stuff, or 7-layer dip is what they're calling it? Okay. They have a thing in Sweden that is like that, but it's like a weird food dish that you serve for dinner, and it's like a cake, and that cake is made with like mayo and different kinds of meats and stuff like that, and like then all of a sudden it has like something sweet like whipped cream in it, and you're like, what the fuck is this thing?
What is this stuff? I think it's from Friends. Have you ever seen Friends?
Yeah, where they're trying to make a trifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has like meat and then like lady fingers or something. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's nope.
I think all the food has eaten, I think the only problem that always comes to mind is, Chinese food is like very oily.
Yes.
They don't have a lot of fresh ingredients. They do, but then they cook it in oil. I think that's my only complaint.
That all came from which part of society you were as well. Like your food is more fresh, and the recipes were different for like the people who were higher society, because that's why you're going to see that a lot in a lot of Asian cultures, where some of the culture was the lower class, so their food is going to be different. It's like how we have like how black people have like soul food, is because soul food was like a lot of times it was the leftovers, and it was most of the time created during like the slave era, where it was what they had left, the scraps that they could create something with in order to make food and survive. And then over time, people said, well, I actually like that food, so I'm going to keep making it. And to be honest, there's a lot of soul food that's amazing. So
What was the weirdest thing you ate as a kid, or like something you invented?
something I didn't invent any food. Oh yeah. The most weird thing I ever ate as a kid was a mayonnaise sandwich. Just mayo and bread. What's your favorite dish?
Dish?
Yep.
I really like soup.
Soups? What kind of soup is your favorite?
Tasty pot soup.
What's that?
Tasty pot soup. It's basically like, tom yum?
Yep.
The flavor of tom yum? Like, I like tom yum. I like having like meat and like mushrooms and all the veggies in there with the tom yum base, and I like to eat those. Like, their snack is literally dried ramen though.
Yeah, growing up, we had a lot of really simple dishes. Goulash, hot dishes, shit on a shingle. If you've never had shit on a shingle, I don't know if there's a Asian version of it, but it's hamburger that you add flour and butter to, so it's creamy with a little bit of milk, so it's creamy hamburger, and then you put it on buttered toast. And so you eat it open face.
Say that one more time. What?
So you make you take ground hamburger, cook it,
Yes.
and you add flour, then butter and milk, so that it makes a creamy hamburger, and then you scoop that and put it on buttered toast.
So it's just like that kind of sounds like a sloppy Joe.
Kind of like sloppy Joe, but not. There's no tomato. It's just flour, butter, hamburger,
Sloppy Joe has tomatoes.
and milk. So yeah, sloppy Joe has tomatoes.
Like, you mean like a fresh tomato or like mixed
Tomato
with
sauce.
tomato?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
mixed into
okay.
the beef.
That reminds me of like school food.
Yeah. Well, I mean, originally, as far as I remember, it was used a lot in war times. It was because it was cheap, and in war times they didn't call it shit on a shingle, or well, the soldiers did, but the cooks were referred to it as chipped beef.
Mm. I miss having like school food where it's all like grilled cheese and the tomato soup. That was my favorite.
Make it.
I definitely could. It's like so easy, but it's like one of those foods that you crave, but it never comes to mind when you're hungry.
Sure. My wife craves that, so she'll make that all the time. Actually, like I can't count how many times we've had tomato soup and grilled cheese. But we get all fancy with it. We can get like brioche bread and like 4 different kinds of cheeses and stuff like that. Nothing like fancy grilled cheese. 3 or 4 different cheeses, and then you dip it in like a good tomato soup that you made from scratch.
Have you ever met a tattoo artist that did draw?
Tons of them. Literally tons of them. They trace. There's actually quite a few in Minnesota that I could name, but I try not to talk shit to people. But yeah, it's there's quite a few in Minnesota that couldn't draw their way out of a wet paper bag, but they can trace really well.
But couldn't you get partnership with like an artist?
They could, but a lot of them won't admit that they can't draw.
Oh.
Like there's a tattoo artist that I worked for years and years ago, and he actually had one of our coworkers quit because the coworker had created this really cool design, and he came to work one day, and here's the owner of the shop tattooing it on one of his clients, because his client's like, I want something new and fun, not something off the wall. So he went into the kid's station and took the design and just tattooed it.
What can you do?
You can't do anything. He quit,
Oh my god.
and so did I.
Is that when you quit?
No, I quit a few days later when he was, without going too into it, he was getting sexual favors in trade for a tattoo. And I'm like, I'm out. I quit. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that's prostitution. I'm fucking out. Like, you're literally trading, that for a tattoo. Like, yeah, I'm fucking way out of here. We're definitely not going to finish today, but I'm getting pretty good. Getting pretty far on them so far. I only have you for another about half an hour-ish to about 3 o'clock. But you're still gonna walk away with half of the half that's gonna be here is gonna be awesome. So I won't shortchange it, but yeah, I'm not gonna finish it today. But I wish I had booked a little bit more time with you to do it. You're sitting like a champ, so it's really hard to, tell you like, oh well, sorry, but it's not you anymore. But some people, like when I book a piece, especially when it goes near the armpit and stuff like that, they don't sit super well, so they end up tapping out from it. So. Yeah, we got a really, it's starting to come together really well. It's nice and solid. I'm just gonna, as I'm doing the shading, I'm just gonna bring in some of these little lines, some of these lines a little bit more bold so that they stand out a little bit more. Not too bold because we don't want it to be a traditional looking tattoo. You just look for your time? Oh, I was gonna say there's a big clock in front of you.
Are you gonna roast me? You're like, you can't read the clock. Is that why you have to look at your phone?
To be honest, I don't put it past a lot of people your age. One of my friends, David, is a few years older than you. He can't read a clock like that.
Honestly, you're not wrong.
Most kids can't read them unless they're digital these days. And that sucks because that's basic. I mean, and the thing about it is, if something ever went wrong where you didn't have your phone with you, how do you know what time it is?
I always feel like eventually you'll figure it out. You know, like how I don't know how they would do this, but they stick in the dirt and then see the time moves.
It's called a sundial.
Yeah. So how would you know where 12 is?
So you have to be making sure that you're facing north, and then the shadow will create what time it is. So you figure out which way is north first, then you stick the stick in the ground, and make sure it's wider than it is like just you can do it with just a simple poke, but if it's wider, you'll get a much better reading. And what it is the sun projects from like the east or the west. So as long as you're looking north when the stick is in the ground, you'll be able to see what hour it is on the clock. If there's no shadow, it means it's exactly directly above pretty much noon. We had to learn that when we were kids.
I think I just learned that one from nedy.
Sure. Any other movies you've seen recently that you're stoked about?
We've been having such a hard time looking for good movies to watch, but we just saw Hellbound. It's a Korean drama.
Okay.
It's basically just about like hellhounds?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just like hellhounds coming after people who like have sinned and stuff like that.
Sure.
But the thing, oh wait, I can't spoil it.
You can spoil it if you want.
You think you'll watch it?
I mean, if I watch it, it's no big deal. I mean, I've been spoiled plenty of times, so it's not a huge deal to me.
But basically, and they're trying to figure out like why they're getting taken and stuff like that.
That sounds cool.
It's honestly watching the whole thing, it was kind of lame, but now like watching the end and seeing how it's gonna move on is like more interesting.
Sure. Did you guys? I know it's Korean, but hugely popular. Did you watch Squid Game?
Of course.
Fucking loved it.
It was so good. Are you stoked for season 2?
If and when we actually get it, yes. It's the most popular thing on Netflix, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a second season. But it's really crazy. Like, do you know that he actually wrote that like 9 years ago?
Yeah, but he couldn't get it to sell, right?
Nobody wanted to buy it, and it's like, are you fucking crazy? Like, and then he puts it on Netflix, and it's like the #1 most popular thing in the world.
You know what sucks is that he didn't get paid for it. That goodly. He only settled on what they agreed.
Yep.
Not popularity wise.
Well, I mean, look at it. Look at how many times that's happened for a lot of people. The inventor of the Nike swoosh got paid $50.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep. If he would have contracted it that he gets paid per use, he would be a one above quadrillionaire.
Yeah.
If that would be if he just asked for pennies for every time it was used.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the Squid Game theories?
The what?
The series that they're coming out with? Like how people are saying the old man is his father and stuff like that.
Is his father?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Did you know how in the Marvel episode,
Mm-hmm.
it's like he's saying, oh, this looks similar to where I live too, and that's exactly where the old man lived. And he's saying, and then the main actor is like, he knows, he recognizes his place and stuff like that. So they say that they're probably father and son, but that's only a theory, though.
I mean, it could be. We did and how would he know a lot of the people didn't know any of the games that they were being played, that they were going to play. Like, the Indian guy didn't know very much of any of the games.
Mm-hmm. Wait, did you know that all the games were on the walls?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know this until, they actually showed it.
Well, I mean, and even their masks are the symbols of the Squid Game, shapes.
I think that's noticed. Oh, yeah, the
Square, the triangle, the circle, yep. Hey, how's it going, Grim?
Do you have another tattoo after this?
No, I have tons of errands I have to run with the wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I booked that because we don't get to see each other very often because I work and she works at such an opposite schedule. So it's all about timing it so that we can actually have the time to do all the things we need to do because she doesn't drive. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know how to drive. Well, she knows how. She doesn't have a license or anything. It's terrible. Now she's 30. 30-year-old woman who doesn't, have a license.
Does she want to?
No. She's fine with being chauffeured by me.
Oh, are you fine?
Sometimes I wish we had a second car because it would be nice to, like I said, stay longer and knock this out more. But unfortunately, it's like, okay, so the longer I'm here, the longer she's at work with nothing to do, and she'd have to try to mooch a ride off of one of her coworkers, and it's like that gets old pretty quick.
Growing up, I saw that a lot happening where, my friends, they didn't know how to drive, so they relied, completely on their boyfriend, and then after they broke up, nothing happened, so I told myself that that's, the one thing I wanted to do, was learn how to drive even before I dated anybody.
There you go. So what kind of car do you drive?
I have a Acura RL, a 2010, and then I have a S2000.
You have two cars? What color S2000?
It's a yellow one.
Of course it's yellow.
But the thing is, I don't want it to be yellow.
So it's really funny. No offense. Every S2000 I've ever met that has an Asian owner.
Exactly. So it was really, there's a lot of things that was going through when I got it from the person. I feel
Sure.
like I shouldn't have got it from my friend because everybody knows it's his car. So it's like now I'm going through the thing to like turn it into my car, you know?
Sure.
So it really bothers me that it's yellow, so I never take it out. But yeah, I had a Miata before that.
Yuck. I never like Miatas. I know they're great for drifting. I know, but I think the look of them is just terrible. It's so tiny.
Aren't they kind of cute though?
How they what?
Aren't they kind of cute?
I never thought they were cute. The only time I ever actually appreciated a Miata was in like the Need for Speed games where you could use them so well for drifting. Like those things are built for drifting.
Tell me the headlights aren't cute.
Nope, never liked clamshells.
Oh.
The height of headlights, never liked them.
Even the... Which one?
Especially when they're half broken sometimes and people wink with them. Like where it just doesn't go down.
Oh, I can spam the button. Probably really bad for the car, but if I spam it, it will wink.
Man, I want to start driving. I'm sure you do, man. You're so close, too. He just got his license not too long ago.
Yeah, I think this is my second winter driving.
I've been driving since I was 14 years old.
Wow.
I've been driving legally since I was 15.
I always thought I would hate driving, but I didn't know I would get into cars once I started driving.
Yeah, I miss being into cars, but then I remember all the time that goes into being into cars. Mm. And I mean, I had a really, really fast Volkswagen. I mean, that thing was a fucking powerhouse, and it's just like.
What type of Volkswagen did you
I had a Mark V Volkswagen GTI with 500 to the wheels, and that thing was murder. Like, I mean, it was so low that my shoe couldn't fit under the front clip.
But I really want a Beetle.
Beetles are fun.
I think they're just so cute.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move the camera for 1 second, guys. Ignore me, because we're gonna change her pitch. So I'm gonna have you sit up, because remember we're gonna get to that back portion now. All right. What's that?
Am I going around?
You're good. No, just sit back.
Oh.
Yep. Okay, I'm just gonna drop you down. Right there. Cool. Then I'm gonna lower these into position. There we go.
Very clean.
I can take the test, but I only have 30 minutes of experience. Holy crap, 30 minutes? Hasn't Luke been taking you out, like teaching you how to drive, or because he's a licensed driver, he can technically do that now. Licensed drivers over the age of 18 can take an unlicensed driver over the age of 15 out for driver's lessons. That's how it works.
Yeah, since I was 18. When I was 19 when I took my test, my driver's test, I literally just, well, it took so long for somebody to try to teach me, so when I had my friend who taught me how to drive, I took the test like 2 weeks after I started learning.
Nice. Yeah, I aced my driver's test, or my bookwork test, and then I went out to take my driver's test and failed the first time because of the driver's test guy giving you a, they try to throw at least one trick in there, like turn left here. Yeah, they're allowed to. They did it to my wife too. Like, he had her in the right lane and told her to take a left. And she took the left, and he's like, unfortunately, that was a pass-fail part of the test, and you're done.
That's not... Well, when I took mine, they told me that they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, well, they did to her. I can only drive the old car, but it's been in the shop for a little while, and no one else can take me, so I guess I'm waiting. Have you ever thought about trying to save up and buy a new car? Or a used car, I mean? New to you? My first car was a 1988 Toyota Tercel. Beater with a heater. That's all it was, but it did the job. And then I had an 88 Chevy Nova. That was another beater with a heater. My dad was an auto mechanic, so it was beater with the heaters is what I could afford, and he always had a line on them. Because in the garage we built hot rods with my dad. My first new car that I bought, like new, was my Volkswagen. I walked in there and dropped down cash for the majority of the down payment and everything like that. And that car, I took it directly from the dealership to my friend's tuning shop, and I said, I want this, 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 and this. And he's like, that's quite a bit of money. You're going to be good with that? And I'm like, yep. I'm like, how soon should I expect it? And he's like, well, I can have it done in a couple of days. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's do it. And he's like, I'm going to have you sign this piece of paper right here. I'm like, why? He's like, because we're voiding every warranty on this thing today. You just bought the car, and we're going to void all the warranties. I'm like, yep. And yeah, we put a new chipset in it, bigger turbo, better exhaust, brand new sway bars, a complete coilover kit that dropped at 2.5 inches. I mean, everything I could put in that car was there on the first day. It was a fun car to drive too. I miss it. I thought about it, but my search has been unsuccessful. Well, right now is a very hard time to buy cars. With trying to find a beater with a heater, you're going to have to talk to friends of yours, or friends of yours that are like possibly in the auto mechanic market, because they're going to have lines on cheaper cars. Right now, trying to buy something even from a used car salesman is really, really hard. Like I've seen 1990s Hondas selling for over $40,000 right now, because the market is so flooded. Because no one, like, if you go to your like a new car dealership right now, trying to buy a car from them is like good luck because of the chip shortage. Can't sell a car if it doesn't have the freaking thing to make it go, to make it go. How much did you pay for your first car? My first car was given to me, but my father paid $300 for it. That was back in, see, I was 16 in 1994. So yeah, 1994 is when it was purchased. But yeah, $300 is what it cost. A beater with a heater these days, you're probably looking between 5 and 8 nowadays with inflation. But then again, gas was 89 cents a gallon when I was a kid. Now you guys are, now I pay fucking over 3. That's a bunch of shit. I think our moron in charge for that. Hey, what's one of the first things you're gonna do once you're president? Oh, we're gonna stop this pipeline that would make it from Canada and Alaska to America to give, you know, North America its independence for fuel. Cool. Yeah, that's not dumb. Where do you go on vacation when you go?
Me?
Yeah.
I have a thing. I kind of don't like to travel. Well, I do if there's like a very specific place I want to visit, but I don't like to travel cities and stuff like that. Not at least not in the U.S.
Okay.
I'm kind of boring.
It's cool.
So yeah, like if I want to go somewhere, like I really want to go to Universal Studios sometime this year.
Sure.
So I tell you, I traveled all the way from Memphis to get my first tattoo. And that's the only thing I went for.
Mm.
Where did you go? For fun.
Well, I mean, as soon as they open the borders back up for Japan, that's where we're going. But we're going on vacation in a few. Actually, what's today's date? The 9th? In about 2 weeks. Just a little over 2 weeks. We're going to Florida for Disney.
Yay! Are you gonna go to Universal?
No, there's nothing really at Universal that we like. Like we're semi Harry Potter fans, but that's about it. Like we're not into like the Mummy or the Super Mario Brothers is cool, but I'd rather go to the one in Japan. Yeah, but we're not into Simpsons or anything like that, so it would be kind of a waste. Yeah, it's for a lot of people it's great, but for us it would be a waste. It would be like, what am I here for? Like I don't really dig any of the properties that's associated with Universal. Like I said, we like Harry Potter, but not enough to, book a trip to Universal for one of the properties out of the like the 10 or 12 they have.
So do you go look at Disney?
Sarah's a huge Disney person. I used to be, but it's kind of lost me. Lately, Disney's been kind of just doing whatever the hell they want and changing the properties a lot. Like, they're like, oh, well, this one's R-rated now because there might be racism in it. It's like, no, it's not. There's no racism. But okay, that's what we're going for. Cool. Like, they made like Dumbo and stuff like that R-rated now.
Really?
Yeah. Peter Pan, Dumbo, Aristocats, there's a few of them. And it's because, something happens and it might be construed as a racist thing. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not. You're literally grasping at straws now. But it's their property. They can do whatever they want with it. It just makes people like myself who actually love their stuff look at it like, well, I just don't want to book a vacation to your site anymore. And Sarah wants to really go, so I told her I will go and I'll try to be not a Debbie Downer the entire time, but I don't want to be there. I don't really have a lot of desire to go. But I don't want to disappoint her, so I'm going just to kind of make her happy. I don't like leaving the house if I don't have to these days. If I could tattoo from home, I would, but the law does not permit that. The reason that we had the house fire is because I was at work, and so was she. So now I don't like being away from home at all.
You live close to there?
I live about 12 minutes from here, right over in Bloomington, Richfield area. I've pretty much almost lived there my whole life. I grew up in South Minneapolis, but then my parents bought the house in Richfield, and I've lived there ever since. I moved out, on my own here and there, but my parents, a couple years ago, they wanted to downsize, and they didn't just want to sell the house. They're like, do you want the house? I'm like, sure. And they're like, all you have to do is finish out the mortgage. I'm like, okay. And there was about, 7 or 8 years left on the mortgage, so I said, sure, I'll buy it. So that's what we're dealing with her. So now the house is paid off, and now it's just pay the taxes every year. Wrap up this flower and we'll call it a day. Found a 2002 Camry for a little under $1,000. That's a pretty damn good deal. How many miles are on it? Those things run for freaking ever, especially at 02. That thing could have 150,000 on it and still have a good, 60 or 70 grand left on the engine. Those cars are built to last. Old Toyotas. I mean, the most sought after Toyota is from an anime, and finding one is a nightmare these days, but it's a lot of fun once you actually own one. Watch your face. There you go. Relax. Let me have your arm. You're fighting me here. And it's not even like your intentions, I know. All right, go ahead and check it out in the mirror and see what you think so far. Man, I gotta clean that mirror. 262,000? Don't even do it. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. 262,000. Do not buy that car. Don't even test drive that car. It could break on your test drive. That is a lot of miles on that car. What do you think?
I like it.
Good. You want me to add any now that you've seen what's going on so far? And I'll make the pattern for the tail end stick right where it is. Do you want any more flowers towards the bottom end too?
I think it would be too hard to change this part.
What do you want to change about it?
I just wanted the swirl further down.
No, that we had planned to make it go down more.
Mm-hmm. But would the tight curl here be able to move a little?
Maybe. I'll try to play with the sketch and figure out if I can move it down a little bit more.
If it's not, that's okay too. But since we're going further out, if we could just stretch this curl just a little down.
Okay.
The tail gradually goes up.
I'll see if I can move it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give it a shot and see if I can move it. Hi there, Sarah. I am wrapping up right now, okay? And then I'll be on my way to pick you up.
Is she on?
She's on. It's okay.
Has she been on?
No, she probably just signed on. Her work just ended. Oh yeah. So sit all the way back, and I'll move the cameras. That way she doesn't have to worry about it, and neither do you. All right. So this is what we got done so far, Sarah. Big old dragon flowers. It's gonna go down her arm, but I'm gonna redraw this a little bit at the tail end. All right, well, I'm wrapping up, and then I'm gonna put some plastic on her and call it a day, and then I'll be back here tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm back here tomorrow. I don't think it's until late. I think it's like a 6 o'clock appointment. It is a 6 o'clock appointment tomorrow, and 3 o'clock on Tuesday, noon on Wednesday. So, alrighty. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys today. I love you all to death. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you very much for the support. YouTube is still new for me, I understand. I'm doing my absolute best to try to make it look nice and pretty for all of you to watch. Hopefully after I talked with, I basically am talking in the midst of a conversation with a tech guy, getting it to look as prim and proper and clean as possible. Once I have that dialed in, hopefully the next stream looks better. And my next stream for YouTube will probably be about Tuesday or Wednesday. Just going to give you guys a heads up on that one. Otherwise, I do cast on Twitch as well. The name is pretty much the same. So if you either are subscribing here or there, thank you very much. All right, let's get some sanitizer and wrap you up. Tattoo looks great. Good. Have a good one. Can catch the last part of the stream. Well, thank you very much for being here, Graham. Keep on the lookout, and if you're wondering about anything car related, message me, or you can always send me a link. Oh God, did I miss everything? Oh yeah, for sure. We're done. Like, I'm wrapping up. Didn't get pinged in the Discord. I pinged it in Discord that I was going to be streaming about 12:30, but it Discord has a bot that announces when I'm going on live on Twitch, and unfortunately, if I want it to be this the same bot for YouTube, I have to pay like a monthly fee for it, and it's not cheap either. So I'm gonna look into it and figure out if there's a better bot that'll do it for me that won't cost me like $8 a month. That's pretty hefty, especially because it's just my Discord, not somebody else's. But whatever. But I'm just gonna wrap this young lady up, and then I'm gonna go home. Well, not go home. Run over to Target, pick up Sarah, and then go get some food, and get home to my dogs.
You have dogs?
Mm-hmm. That's my kids.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 3.
Aww.
That's what we in the fire we lost 4 cats and 3 dogs. Yeah, that was everybody. We only had one survivor. Okay, there is a bubble in there. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine with the bubble. Yeah, not worth the price per month. I will try to keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can figure out something a little less expensive, because it'd be nice to be able to notify you guys when I'm going live. But at that cost, it just didn't work. We're gonna do a couple pieces of Sanoderm instead of just one, because I'm trying to cover an L shape. Not gonna work. No, you're fine.
Last time, when I got this one done, she just wrapped plastic on it, so I bought some Sanoderm, and somehow somebody gave me this really weird advice that I should put Aquaphor underneath the Sanoderm.
Oh God, no! It wouldn't stick. Yeah, it wouldn't have a chance to stick. Yeah, Sanoderm or any kind of that. I mean, that's the reason why I wiped your skin down and then let it dry, is so that it would have nothing on it except for possibly a little bit of plasma coming through from the last parts we tattooed, because it won't stick. There'll be nothing there. So yeah, now just relax. There you go, just relax. I've got one more after this. Freezer, are you gonna play tonight or what? Caitlin Vang is here.
That's my friend.
There you go. You missed the whole tattoo.
I'm coming home now. Well, we didn't do the bottom half yet, but we did.
Yeah. Yeah, we got everything lined up and everything like that, but she wants to change the bottom half anyway, so I'm actually kind of glad that we were able only to do half, because if I would have tattooed the whole thing and then you're like, can we move this down? No.
I would have been this too.
I've actually had a client ask me that one time.
Yeah.
I finished the whole tattoo, and then she's like, you know what? She called me a couple days later, and she's like, I really love my tattoo. You did a great job on it, but I was wondering if there was any way we can move it down like 2 inches. And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, in order to move your tattoo down a couple of inches, I would literally have to surgically remove it and then surgically replace it to another part of your body.
Did she mean elongate it? Or like move it?
No, she meant move.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she literally meant pick up, slide down, replace. Like,
so what was her whole thought process once you told her?
She's like, oh, I didn't know it was that involved. I'm like, yeah, you should probably talk to a doctor if you want to do that. I'm like, I don't want this headache anymore. I'm going to give you to a doctor to explain. Fucking crazy people is what that is. I really want to move my tattoo. Shit. Good luck. Shake your arm. It'll move. I promise. It'll wobble. All right. Yeah, oof. All right, boys and girls. I'm out of here. I love you all to death. I will see you soon. I'm going to be on Apex tonight if anybody wants to play with me. You can find me on the Discord. And you can also, yeah, the bubbles they're gonna go away as it subsides. Twerk. Oh yeah, if you twerk, your tattoos will move around too, for sure. Especially if you get those booty tattoos. make your tattoos dance. If there's a Discord link below, cool. If there's not, I apologize. I'm trying to set up all the links and all that kind of fun stuff. YouTube is definitely still new to me, but I'm going to be playing Apex tonight after I'm done with dinner. So I love you all to death. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. Bye-bye.